let you know as soon as I hear anything. Be with you in a minute. Right. How can I help you?
Detective Chief Superintendent Petch, DCI Bourne, DI Graveney, DS McCourt, Serious Crime Squad.
I see. Good morning, sir.
As of 0900, we are requisitioning your incident room, effective until further notice. If you'll let us through.
Yes, of course. If you'd like to wait, I'll just clear it with the duty officer.
You will speak to no one.
I'm sorry, sir, but duty
You will
officer...
inform no one of our arrival, all right? Now stop wasting my time and open up. Is that not clear enough for you, Sergeant?
Yes, sir. Right away.
Incident room.
Reg, front office, 5 minutes.
Yeah, I'm just going to the...
Now, Hollis. It's
front
this way.
office, yeah. John.
Later, Alec. This is the incident room, sir.
This will be fine. Now, Sergeant.
Maitland, sir.
Right, Sergeant Maitland, would you show DS McCourt to the LIO's office and DCI Bourne and DI Graveney to the Criminal Investigation Department?
May I ask what this is all about, sir?
You may not, Sergeant. Sufficient to say that any request made by me or my fellow officers will be carried out to the letter and with the utmost dispatch. Understood?
Yes, sir.
Good.
Sergeant? Inspector Monroe, duty officer, can I help you?
DCS Petch, Serious Crime Squad. Nothing for you to concern yourself with, Inspector. If you'd like to go about your normal duties. Will you close the door after yourself? Duty state? How far back do these go?
Last 6 months.
Right.
Oi! What do you think you're doing? That's my desk.
You're Roach, are you?
I'm Detective Sergeant Roach. Who the hell are you?
Ted. DCI Bourne, Serious Crime Squad.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Alistair, what's going on here?
I don't know, mate.
Right, mate. We'll see about this. Excuse me, ma'am. Do you know anything about this?
Ted, let me get in first.
I'm sorry, ma'am. It won't wait. There's a couple of goons from SCS turning our office over.
SCS?
Yeah.
Excuse me, what's going on here?
Who are you?
DCI Reed.
DCI Bourne, DI Graveney, Serious Crime
I know
Squad.
where you're from.
Nothing to be alarmed about. This is purely procedural.
Procedural?
That is correct.
Your governor, who's the IO on this?
Nobody is to touch this, right? If I could see your office now, please.
My office? I asked you a question.
And I decline to answer. Your office, ma'am. If you please.
Could you take that, Derek? If you'd just take my coat as well up to the office, I'll sort this out.
Get the rest, and we should be ready to roll.
Chief Superintendent Brownlow.
DCS Patch. Eric. It's Charles, I believe, yes?
It is. How do you do?
Very well. I'd like to thank you in advance for the use of your facilities.
Usually polite to ask first, I found.
Yes, well, the nature of our business here precludes any such niceties, I'm afraid.
I was expecting you rather sooner.
Were you? Were you?
You are investigating the murder of Lenny Powell. That is why you're here.
Doubtless you appreciate the difficulties of such an investigation, Charles. Not every day you have an informant shot while under police protection.
No.
You're aware that the CPS have had to drop the case against Whelan and the rest of Powell's former associates?
I heard it was a possibility. Unconfirmed.
Not a result we want splashed across the headlines, really, is it? Supergrass killed in care of Sunhill CID.
So, Whelan's off the hook.
His liberty has been restored, oh yes.
I see.
I'm looking at the facts, Charles. Powell was relocated from across the river to your ground. Somehow, and bear in mind it had taken Whelan's firm 3 months to find the original location, within 24 hours of placing Powell in a safe house under Sun Hill supervision, he's shot dead as he leaves for court. Doesn't inspire confidence, does it?
Am I to understand that you suspect that somebody from Sun Hill tipped off Whelan's gunman?
You must draw your own conclusions. I have nothing further to add to my last statement at this time.
Burnside wants Sam for this.
Well, if Ree can't sort it out, I can't see him doing any better.
You got everything you need?
Yes, thanks.
Git.
Oh, come on, Ted. You're not doing anybody any favours, you know.
It's out of order, Tosh.
Yeah, I know.
Thank you.
Mum?
Give me a minute, Ted.
Yeah, sure, Mum. Do you know what this is all about yet?
Not for definite.
But you've got an idea. Mum?
Later. Sir.
Yes, Kim.
May I speak with you?
Yes, of course.
Typical mushroom syndrome, kept in the dark and fed on moons.
It's a cowl, isn't it?
Yes. Yes, it is.
They've taken their time, haven't they, sir?
Well, I understand their attention's been centred on the original safe house, the other side of the river.
Well, I have to say their attitude leaves a lot to be desired. They've already put the noses of several of my officers well out of joint.
Well, they're not in the job to make friends, Kim.
Don't patronise me, Derek. The order of the day is to discover who murdered Lenny Powell, isn't it, sir?
Yes, of course.
Then why does it already feel so much like a witch hunt?
It's nothing of the sort, Kim.
No?
It's inevitable in this type of operation that toes will be trodden on. I would have thought the squad could expect you, above all, to assist them in every way possible.
Oh, they can, sir. They can. So long as it doesn't involve slipping a rope around my own neck and kicking the chair away.
About time and all. Bit of a slap for the brains, long overdue.
Yeah, don't strain yourself, will you? So what do you reckon then, eh? Fiddling expenses or what?
4 of them. Leave it out. Must be something big.
What then?
Who knows? Look like themselves upstairs, ain't they?
Well, they think they are.
Yeah, but they're not missing, you know, the suits. They put the wind up, make them.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, wait, this is one.
You all right, mate? You lost something?
I'm looking for 595 Stamp.
Sure. Because that's me, I'm Stamp. Tony Stamp.
Right. Present yourself at the incident room in 5 minutes. Don't be late, will you, mate?
You're right, Tony. It's a flaming liberty, that's what it is. They can't mess us around like this. I've got people to see.
That's right, Mum. Can't somebody have a word?
If that's what they want, then that's what we will do.
Nice of handing in a batch of jobs as long as you're on,
Yes,
Mum.
I know, and as soon as you've been seen, you're clear to take whatever's outstanding.
Yes, but that's...
No buts, Ted. That's it. I'm sorry.
It's a complete joke, Mum.
It's no joke, and the sooner you realise that, the better, all right?
Hang on a second.
I don't suppose you've given any thought to the possibility that this whole department could be in very serious trouble.
No, you hang on.
No, you hang on, Ted. If they get the faintest whiff of any naughtiness, and I don't care what kind, then by the time this investigation's over, there may well be more than a few empty seats in this office. Is that understood?
You didn't know who your passenger was?
No, sir. I was just detailed to drive the motor.
Which was?
Black cab, sir.
Didn't strike you as odd in any way?
Just following instructions, sir.
You didn't even wonder?
I find it best not to, sir. If information is withheld, it's usually for a good reason.
So let me recap. As far as you were aware, you were just taking a prisoner from one location to another.
That's correct, sir.
You followed?
I thought at one point that was the case, sir, but no. I don't believe we were followed to the safe house.
You knew it was a safe house?
It had been used as such on previous occasions. There was nothing to lead me to believe that this was anything different.
So, at what point did you become aware of the prisoner's identity?
And not until after he'd been shot, sir.
You were involved, Joel, in the first attempt on Powell.
I was called upon to act in my capacity as AFO, yes, sir.
And you didn't know the identity of the man you were protecting?
No, sir.
No idea?
No, sir.
It started then.
Yes.
Stamp's in seeing them now. I thought as you were next, we would have a little chat. Make sure we're giving the same story.
Story? I'm just answering questions.
Yeah, of course. How long have you been at Sun Hill now? 4 months?
About that.
Good department you got here. Loyal. Someone's in trouble, we don't leave them out on a wire.
We're all in the same boat, Frank. I hadn't been here a week, don't forget, when Daxo dropped Powell in my lap.
Sure. And you can count on me to tell him that. I mean, given the circumstances, you made the best of a bad job.
I'd be more concerned how things looked from your end if I were you.
So, how do things look? From my end.
They're going to want to know why you stood down the extra cover.
2 armed villains sledgehammer the door at dawn. We get the drop on them. All over. I thought it was sorted, didn't I? I mean, how was I to know it was only a blind to the real attempt?
You should have checked with me first.
I tried. Was engaged.
Come on, Frank. I was expecting your call. Nobody else rang, and I didn't leave it off the hook.
I must have dialed the wrong number.
Not me you've got to convince, is it?
You could tell him that I got a hold of you, and we agreed the decision to stand down the AFOs and the extra bodies together.
You can't pull strokes like that with SCS, Frank. You know that. They're not your usual rubber heels.
You leaving me to carry the can? Cheers.
You made a decision. It's possible I'd have done the same thing. It's just unfortunate it gave an end to Whelan's hitman.
Yeah, well, I don't think they're going to see it as just unfortunate.
I don't see how it could be anything else.
Look, I've seen it before. It doesn't have to be concrete, just enough to cast a doubt. Suspension pending inquiry. And even if you come through the other side, you've still done your legs. It's just that... Well, I thought if we all pulled together, we could see this one through.
Reed? Right, I'm on my way down.
Are you now? Or have you ever been?
Like the good book says, Frank, tell the truth and shame the devil. I was notified that we would be assuming responsibility for Powell by the Deputy Assistant Commissioner for Special Operations.
How did you receive this information?
By telephone. I was called at home on the evening of the 26th at about 9 o'clock.
The importance of this prisoner was made clear to you.
Only insofar as he'd been assigned an alias, Edward Price, and that his safety was the prime concern. I was given to understand that his present security had been breached, hence the swift decant to Sun Hill.
How did you feel about that?
Concerned. It left me with less than 11 hours to organise things my end before we were due to collect Powell. I knew it would be tight.
Could you outline the steps you took?
I thought we'd put all that behind us, sir. The years of anarchy, the firm within the firm.
I still don't believe it's hardcore corruption or anything like the scale of 15 years ago.
It's possible that some slipped through the net, though, sir.
No, I don't think so. Mistakes may have been made, but nothing sinister should be inferred from that.
To err is human.
Exactly. However, inquiries of this sort can do long-term damage. I mean, Kim's going to have immense problems on her hands. Morale will be non-existent.
That is presuming that she stays, sir. I mean, a blot this size on a copybook, she might well be moved elsewhere. Well, you've only got to look at Gordon Ray. The whole department could be scattered to the four winds. Divide and rule.
Do you live alone, Miss Reed?
Yes?
You're not involved in any particular relationship of any long standing?
No. And so your next question as to whether I mentioned the details of this op to anyone outside the offices in this station is null and void.
You understand we have to ask?
I would have been surprised if you hadn't.
How do you think they found him, Miss Reed?
I don't know, sir.
You have no opinion?
My opinion, Chief Inspector, is neither here nor there.
Well, surely you must have formed
Look,
some...
I'm more than willing to assist with this inquiry in any way I can. But I won't indulge in wild surmise when there's so much at stake. With the greatest respect, you must find your own answers.
Then perhaps you can give us your impression, as his senior officer, of Mr. Burnside.
Well, I'm not losing any sleep over it. Storm in a teacup.
You reckon?
Won't blow over soon enough. Providing Reed doesn't stick the knife in. And you and me give a good account of ourselves.
You and me? What do you mean?
Well, we stood the troops down, didn't we?
Oh, you gave the word.
I know, as I remember it, Ted. You asked me if you could stand them down, and I agreed.
Oh, hang on a minute. That's not how I remember it at all.
Oh, I do. Like it was yesterday.
Oh, no.
A trouble shared is a trouble half, Ted.
You're not serious.
There's no one in this department doesn't owe me. Time to call in a few favours, that's all.
You can't do that. If I agree to this, that's it for me. I'll have done my legs once and for all.
You've done your legs long ago, Ted.
You bastard.
Sticks and stones. Sticks and stones. You should be pleased.
Pleased?
Well, if I'd done as you suggested in the first place and stood them down even before the first attempt, we'd all be in the clarts. I'm just trying to create a bit of confusion, cloud the issue. It's not just myself I'm thinking of.
That's not how it looks from where I'm standing.
Damage limitation, Ted. I'm trying to get us all off the hook.
Dislike him?
You had dealings with him before you were assigned to watch him at the safe house.
I nicked him about 15 years ago. We didn't know each other socially, if that's what you mean.
So how did you feel about his murder?
He was shot right in front of me, sir. I suppose shock first and foremost. It's not an experience I'd like to repeat in a hurry. It's funny, really, but as he was lying there, all I could think was that we'd failed. And what he would mean for us.
In what way?
All of this, sir. I knew from the off that it was possible that somebody could put 2 and 2 together and come up with 5.
The 2 men who made the dawn attack, you knew they were armed?
Well, we didn't think they'd be coming after Paul with pea shooters, sir.
So as far as you were concerned, this was a real attempt?
Absolutely, sir.
You moved when they arrived?
Yes, sir. As soon as I went through the door, the AFOs went first and disarmed them. A sawn-off and a handgun were recovered.
Did they offer any kind of resistance?
Not really. They surrendered as soon as we'd given warning shouts. They had no choice. We had them with their backs towards us on the stairs.
Then what happened?
Well, they were cuffed and placed in separate vehicles for transit back to the station.
Were any extra officers left to keep watch after your departure?
Much to my regret, sir, they were not.
They were stood down?
Yes.
AFOs and unarmed officers?
That's correct.
By who?
Sorry, sir?
Who gave the order to stand down?
Inspector Burnside, sir.
And you didn't question his judgment?
I assumed the order came from DCI Reed.
And did you agree with that decision?
Well?
It never came up.
You expect me to believe that? What did you tell them?
Nothing they didn't know already.
I thought we had an understanding.
I'm not lying for you.
Oh, I see. So they said, who was it? And you said, Burnside. Listen, Ted, if I go down, I'm not going down on my own. You're on my list.
Look, this is ridiculous. What are you getting so worked up about? God almighty, it was just an error of judgment. We've all made cock-ups in our time.
This is murder, Ted. They're looking for a whipping boy, and I'm favourite.
You want to get a grip on yourself. If you've done nothing wrong, then you've got nothing to worry about. Or are they getting a bit too close for comfort? Is that it, eh? Whelan got you in his back pocket?
Now don't push your luck, Ted.
Don't you threaten me.
And what you gonna do about it? Run and tell Reed? That's about your mark, innit? You done me up like a kipper, the pair of you.
Well, maybe she can't stand bent coppers either.
You slag!
Come on, guys! Come on! Leave it out! Leave it out!
You're finished, you are.
You tyrant!
Stop it!
What the hell are you playing at? What's going on?
We had a disagreement.
Ted, have you been seen?
Yeah.
Right, out of this office. You've got work to do. I'll see you later. Now, Ted. Well.
Well, what? We're all a bit on edge today, that's all.
Right, in my office this minute. You two, tidy up all this mess.
Go. They're ready for you now.
Saved by the bell.
Sorry to have kept you waiting.
Best till last, eh?
You know why we're here?
Claimed too much of my petrol, have I?
You would be advised to treat this inquiry with the level of seriousness that it merits, Mr. Burnside.
Doesn't make very good reading, does it?
I wouldn't know. Don't have much time for reading. Too busy trying to catch villains, usually. Know what I mean?
Are you deliberately trying to make things worse for yourself?
Worse than what? You've already made up your mind. I've been in this job long enough to know how it works. You're just going through the motions.
I'm keeping an open mind at this stage. But you have to admit, you made some elementary mistakes during this affair. Your actions, insofar as I can make out, led indirectly to Powell's death.
I resent that implication.
You're in no position to resent anything, Mr. Burnside. You were caught with your knickers down.
Yeah, well, maybe I should have been caught with my trouser leg rolled up.
What do you mean by that?
I'm not being idle. Whelan was a country member. Work it out for yourselves. None of us lot knew Powell's original location over the river. Whoever put Whelan wise had access to that information.
Rest assured, all avenues of inquiry are being pursued.
As long as they don't lead to your own backyard, eh?
That is a serious allegation, and one which I hope you wouldn't make without the necessary evidence to back it up.
You won't find any evidence. Whoever's responsible will have covered their tracks.
Well, in that case, let's restrict ourselves to the facts and the matter in hand. Why did you stand down the extra cover, Mr. Burnside?
In my opinion, it was in the bag. We had successfully foiled the murder attempt.
Shouldn't you have cleared it with DCI Reed? Wouldn't that have been the appropriate course of action?
I was satisfied. No one could have foreseen what was to follow. It's easy in hindsight to say you should have done this, should have done that. I was the one who was there. I followed my instincts.
And so your complacency, not to say arrogance, left Powell's security fatally flawed.
I did what I thought was best.
The force is changing, Mr. Burnside. Thankfully. No longer enough just to rely on gut reaction. The attitude that you've displayed today is sadly outmoded. You're as much of an anachronism as Powell ever was. Unless you're prepared to take a long, hard look at yourself, I feel you should really be considering your future in the job, don't you?
You want me out, sir? You're gonna need more than words. A damn sight more.
Reed wants to see you, Gov.
Pack up all my cares and woe. Here I go.
Coming!
Alistair said you wanted a word.
Yes. Sorry I haven't had a chance to discuss this with you sooner, but with the Special Crime Squad loitering, things have been a bit hectic.
Understatement of the year.
I want to know what's happening with you and Ted.
Not a lot.
Are you making it official?
Official?
I'm not having the department suffering as a result of your petty squabblings, Frank. I want it settled. Either go or get off the pot.
I'll talk to him.
Do that. Yes?
Sorry to disturb you, Mum.
All right, Ron, what is it?
I've just been having a long chat with a mate of mine over at Marsh Lane, Nick. You still looking to do Mick Whelan?
Well, serious crime are looking into the Powell shooting. Strictly speaking, it's not our ground.
Could be all changed, though. Bush Telegraph says Whelan fancies a slice of Vic Palmer's operations.
More silly rumours.
I haven't finished yet, sir. Do you know Greek Johnny, Mum?
Palmer's minder?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, bits and bobs of a body have been coming into Marsh Lane for the past fortnight, found scattered over the marshes. According to my mate, dental records have just confirmed that it's one and the same.
Greek Johnny?
It's about the size of it. Now, if he was done by Whelan's firm, could be the start of something nasty.
Hello, Bernie.
Frank,
Think about.
Yeah, you want to work?
Yeah.
Susie! Large guy, watch lamp.
No.
Leave it, Susie.
Frankie.
Hello, Vic. Suffering as usual, I see.
Oh, it's a hard life, Frankie.
Can we have a word?
Yeah, come on. Take a walk. Well, what do you want then?
Mickey Whelan. Any way I can.
I can't help you there, that's not my line.
I've heard he wants your ground.
Well, we look after that our way. I'm a businessman, it's business. Dog eat dog.
Why not let us look after it?
Hey? Let you look after it.
What way? Any way you like, Vic. All above board, mate. Nothing dodgy. You see, we can't touch Whelan at the moment.
Oh, yeah?
He's not working our ground.
What about Lenny Powell? You know he's behind that as well as I do.
Out of our hands, Vic. We need something else.
Look at that. That class. It's a privilege seeing things like that. I can't help you, Frank, you know that. It just ain't done.
You listen to me, Vic. You at it, we can tolerate. But you get into a gang war with Mickey Whelan, and we'll have you.
I can't help you, Frank. This is business.
I'll do things my way, and everybody's happy. Except Whelan.
And how do I know it won't all come back on me?
Everything goes all right. Whelan won't be in a position to do anything about it. Come on, Vic. You know, it makes sense.
Tomorrow night he's got a delivery due.
Of what?
That I don't know. But he's got a lot of writing on it.
Oh, there you are. Reed's back.
About time and all. Where's she been this morning?
DAC's office.
What, Hicks? What's she going to see him for?
Well, mates, aren't they?
Oh, yeah. The Bramshill Mafia. Backslappers unanimous. What's she after this time? Superintendency?
I don't know, Duff. She's briefing the troops about the raid in your absence.
Oh, terrific. I'll get the info, she gets the glory.
In the light of current overtime restrictions, some of you'll be working split shifts. I'm only laying on the basic minimum cover, right? The rest of you can book off. I've left a list of exactly who's doing what over there by the duty state. Anyone that's clear must be back here by 6, and that's 6 sharp, OK? Right, any questions?
Well, it's a bit short notice, isn't it, Mum?
Horses for courses, Tosh, sorry. Right, have a good afternoon. See you later.
Yes, Mum.
You staying on?
I'm going to see if there's any chance of getting some backup from uniform.
You must be joking. Del Boy wouldn't pee on CID if we were on fire.
We bring uniform in on this and get lucky, and the next time we need a favour, we could find that a bit more up front than usual.
Stratagems and ruses.
Stop and think about it. Oh, by the way, I've got you paired off with Ted for this evening's activities.
Those two paired on Obbo. She's got to be off her trolley.
Not our problem.
Well, it is when it gets in the way of the job. I mean, we've all heard what it's been like in your office.
It's been brewing since Reed took charge. But neither of them are exactly what you call new men, are they?
Old cow. I'll bring home the bacon and this is her idea of a reward. Stuck on a roof, freezing me cods off with Paddy McGinty's goat for company.
That's supposed to be some sort of joke.
Not from where I'm standing. Break me neck for a slash.
One thing I won't be sorry to see the back of. Your cheery Cockney humour.
Why, you put him some leave then, Ted?
Something beginning with S. Sausages. Sausages? Where?
Dunno.
I've told her we'll sort it between us.
Oh, that's very big of you.
All right. Asking you to perjure yourself in front of SCS, well, that was out of order. But you know me. Attack is the best form of defence.
Yes, but not me, Frank. I don't deserve it. I've backed you up too many times in the past for that.
Well, there you are.
What's that supposed to be? An apology?
Mitigating circumstances, Ted. Well, they had me between a rock and a hard place.
Well, it'll have to do, I suppose.
Well, you weren't exactly backward in coming forward yourself.
That was the heat of the moment. I mean, if you
Hang
really...
on. Reed from Burnside. We've got some movement.
Yes, we see it. Sit tight for the time being. Can you see an index?
Hang on. Foxtrot 331 Alpha Hotel Kilo.
Sierra Oscar from DCI Reed. Index check. Foxtrot 331 Alpha Hotel Kilo.
Received.
What's he doing?
Sitting there.
Index for Deja Ryan, reported stolen 3 days ago from the long stay at Gatwick.
Our boy?
Not if Whelan's running true to form.
Martella from Reed. Receiving. If that car moves off, follow it. Don't attempt to stop him. Just see what he does and keep me posted. Will do.
What's she playing at? Your guess is as good as mine.
And try to be discreet.
What is she? Psychic?
No. She's a bit shrewd, though.
Discreet, she says. Very easy this time of the morning.
He's stopped. Now keep going, keep going.
Read from Martella.
Go ahead, Viv.
He stopped to use a payphone.
Right. Let him make his call and then stay with him. If it looks like he's clocked you, give him a tug.
Received.
Would you make a drop without checking the location first?
All right, I'll give up. What is it? Sofa beds. Do what? Sofa beds. Where? In the warehouse there. Bedroom furnishings. What's a sofa bed if it's not a bedroom furnishing? Yeah, but I can't see it, can I? How am I supposed to know it's sofa beds? Use your imagination. Get down.
Read to all units. Go, go, go.
Cuff him, Tony! Cuff him! Come here! All right! Nicked!
Oh, easy. Easy now. Easy. It's all right. It's okay. It's all right.
Well done, gotcha.
All right, Ted?
Yeah, I'm fine. Got it.
Height, Mum. 3 or 4 bedroom cans.
Right, go.
I've got documents for that paint!
Shut up, noisy. Come on.
Martella from Reed.
Ahead, Mum. It's Hamburger. Got him in the back of the motor now.
See you back at the Nick then.
Well, it looks like resin. It's dark enough. It's a bit hard to tell in this light. Shall I break the seal?
No, leave it till later.
Right. Well, looks like we missed the main man. Still, we've done him some damage. I mean, if each of those cans has got resin the same size as that first block, well, we're talking about a nice few bob up in smoke. One over on the duty men, eh?
Yeah, good result.
Well, don't sound too happy about it.
I wanted Whelan.
Yeah, well, you'll have got the message. Best leave it to Petch and his boys, if and when they're ready.
Yeah, you're probably right. Some other day, eh?
Come on in, sunshine.
Your turn. Sit down.
You the governor?
Shut up and sit down.
I've got dockets.
Shut up and sit down.
You still on about those dockets?
Yes.
Yeah, fancy a shamp with me and Ted?
What, you buried that, you then?
Something like that. You're welcome.
No, thanks. Miss, already doing a nut about the late nights. Better not push it.
Fair dues.
Where's Ted? He's over there.
Oi, Ted.
Yeah.
Come on. Right. What? Reed says we're done. I'll buy you a drink. We're owed one.
I'd have some of that.
Jim, when you're clear, Reed wants a word.
What?
Debrief, I think.
You all pulled together tonight. You are a credit, not only to me and the job, but more importantly, to yourselves.
Thank you very much, Mum. I'm sure we all appreciate your comments.
Good, because we haven't finished yet.
Not finished? What do you mean?
We're going after Whelan.
He's not our grand.
Not yet, he's not, no, but we're going to get him here.
How?
In half an hour, Tosh will phone Whelan. An anonymous tip-off telling him exactly who put us wise to his drop tonight. If we're lucky and he takes the bait, he'll pay Palmer a visit, at which point we'll have him.
You can't pull stunts like that, ma'am. If he turns moody, we're in it up to our necks.
It's all right. I spent the morning going over details with DAC Hicks. He's behind us on this one. He's also sanctioned AFOs, which is why Tony's joined us. Tosh, you and Tony will draw arms.
Right, Mum.
Viv, you and Dave, Obbo on Whelan's flat. If he's going to move, he's going to move quickly. I want you two with him all the way. Right, you haven't got much time. You better get your skates on.
Fine.
OK, if you two want to go and see Mr. Monroe and get your kit signed out.
Oh.
Yes, Mum.
What?
Are the DI and Ted in on this?
No.
Let's see.
I don't think you do. Look, don't read more into this than there is, Alistair. With what's happened this week and the way they're feeling about Whelan, it'd be hard for them to stay objective. Given the choice between success and failure, I think a little injured pride is a small price to pay. They'll understand my reasoning. It's just better that they're not involved in this at all.
Cheers.
Cheers, Vic.
Cheers, mate.
So, how'd it go?
Sweet as a nut.
What about Whelan?
Stayed home.
Oh, that's a shame.
Nice result, though, Vic. 20-odd kilos of gear.
Plus 7 bodies. And the steak.
And you got the money and all, eh?
Yep.
I can just see his face.
Well, I don't suppose he's best pleased.
Put you in the old good books again, won't it?
Yeah. Even things up a bit.
Bet your governor's well pleased.
Reed? Yeah, I expect so.
She's new, isn't she?
6 months, give or take.
What's she like?
Water sports, I heard.
Well, let's just say I'm a person who knows which side his bread's buttered. Look, when you take over Vic's patch, and you will, I'll introduce myself. Until then, let's just call it a favour. OK?
That him?
Looks like it.
DCI Reed from Martella.
So, what's the next move for you, Frankie?
We'll stick the bodies we got tonight through the mangle. See if we can get any of them to put the black on him.
Nah, I can't see it. Not with what happened to poor old Lenny still fresh.
Gotta be worth a try, though, eh, Vic?
But what if they don't?
Serious crime is still on his case. He's going to have to be very careful. And after tonight's little shindig, he'll think long and hard before he has another pop this side of the river.
DCI Reed from Martello.
Go ahead, Viv.
We've lost him, Mom. Sorry. Jumped the danger lights at the level crossing. Barrier was down before we could do anything.
OK, see if you can re-establish contact. We're going mobile. If you don't get lucky, rendezvous with us at Palmer's address in 15.
Received.
OK, let's go.
I'm enjoying this, Vic.
You like it?
Definitely hits the spot.
Well, you and Ted can take a couple of bottles away when you go. That wasn't a hint, Ted. I mean, the night's still young, even if you're not.
Just gone for a Jimmy.
Jim. Stay downstairs. Tosh, you come with me and Alistair. Mrs. Palmer? It's all right. I'm a police officer. Mrs. Palmer, what happened?
What is Vic?
Who wanted him?
Men. I don't know. 3 men.
Listen, calm down and tell me. This is very important. Where is your husband?
He's at the club.
What sort of silly sod takes a gun, eh?
Rod Wilson.
Oh, well, yeah, Rod. He always was a few sticks short on a bundle. Was our Rod. We thought you'd fallen down a hole, Ted.
Just reading the graffiti. Your back door was open, do you know that? I just closed it.
Barmaids. They never shut that door properly. Joey, just go and check that out, will you?
Sit down. I said sit down, didn't I?
How long from his house to the club?
10, 12 minutes.
DCI Reed from Martella.
Go ahead, Viv.
We're clear with Mrs. Palmer. Uniform have arrived.
Okay, meet us at Palmer's Club.
Will do.
Come on, Mickey. There's no need for all this. Sit down and have a drink. I mean, what's the problem, eh?
You are. You're the problem.
Eh? I'm the problem? Well, what am I supposed to have done?
You screwed up my delivery.
Delivery? What delivery? What's he talking about?
Don't lie, Vic.
Oh, come on, Mickey. Don't behave like, oh, what's the name? I mean, what's the matter with you?
Don't waste my time, Vic.
Up. What?
We'll go for a drive.
I ain't going anywhere with you. You got it all wrong. Frank?
Don't be silly. Nobody's putting themselves out for you.
No. Frank and Ted here are from Sunhill Nick. They're filth, you fool. Cheers, Vic.
That's Whelan's car there.
Mum,
Yeah?
and that's Mr. Burnside's motor behind it.
Makes things interesting, doesn't it?
Not very. I don't suppose you come quiet. No, I didn't think so.
Well, maybe I'll take you along on it.
Now, don't be a prat, Whelan. Give it up now, Whelan, before you get yourself in more trouble than you already are.
I do think you're too well placed for giving all this padding.
You're making a mistake, Nick.
Shut up!
You're making a mistake.
I said shut it! Don't worry. Nobody's gonna find it. In.
What?
In the boot. Come on, ain't got all day. In!
All day, mate.
Look, it's not too late, you know.
It is for you.
We'll have to do it here, then. Because I'm getting in the motor.
Suits me. Give my love to Lenny.
Police, stop it! Now, Whelan, you're completely surrounded by firearms officers!
On the ground! Move it! Down! Get down!
Michael Robert Whelan, I'm arresting you on a charge of carrying firearms with intent to endanger life. You don't have to say anything, but anything you say will be written down and made or used in evidence. Do you understand?
Shut up! Watch it!
All right, Dave, take him away. All right.
Why didn't you tell us?
I didn't know you'd be here. You can't keep better company.
You thought we were going to put Whelan wise.
Puts you in the clear, though, now, doesn't it?
Oh, that's all right, is it? Thanks very much.
It's the only way to get him on our ground.
We'd already had a result. Dope, bodies. Isn't that enough for you?
Job unfinished.
Serious, we're onto him. Only a matter of time.
You really thought I'd let Petch lift him? Nobody walks into my department and treats my officers the way they did. Forget that.
takes things personal. I suppose I can do business with her.
All right, Ted. Seen the governor?
We just passed him.
No, the governor.
So he's a bit tasty, is he, Ted?
Basket case by all accounts. Pillhead. Not scared to have a go. Yeah, keep your stick handy. Come on, Maureen, play the game.
What do you want?
It's young Gary, Mo. Threw a pint of best in someone's face down a club last night.
And you're picking him up for that?
Not exactly, no. See, the beer was still in the glass at the time. GBH, Mo. Now, he might be Cockady Estate, but we can't let him get away with that now, can we?
Well, he's not here. Not been home all night.
Surprise, surprise.
You know the name Sarah Willis? Witness saw him leaving the club with her.
Might have known that little tartar being at somewhere.
Know where she lives?
Think I'll tell you.
All right. Well, if you see him, tell him we're looking for him. That's what I love about this job, Dave. Constant contact with the rich vein of humanity.
Sierra Oscar from 340.
Go ahead, Dave.
No luck with Gary Mabs at his mum's. Can you see if you got an address for a Sarah Willis?
Hang on. Dave, the address for Willis is 365 Renshaw Road.
Sarge!
Thanks, Kath.
Sierra Oscar from 577. Sierra Oscar from 577 receiving.
Go ahead, Barry.
Could you check an index for me, Kath? Silver Grey Escort. Delta 209, November Delta Papa.
Say again, Barry. You're very faint.
Say again, Kath.
Escort registered G.
Kath. Kathy. Stupid. I'm coming in to pick up another battery.
Hang on a minute. Yes, 653 receiving.
458 Riley House.
I know, open that, Minnie, I'll deal with it.
Well, look, I'm still tied up here. Can't somebody else deal with it?
Jane, I'll deal with it, okay?
All right, ignore that last message. All right, lads.
That's enough.
Sierra Oscar from 643.
Go ahead, June.
I'm at Riley House. If Dave and Tony are looking for Gary Mads, he's here. I've just seen him going into the 4th floor shooting gallery.
Stay put, June. I'll get you some backup. We'll have him as he comes out.
Sierra Oscar from 96.
Is that it then?
Go ahead,
I mean, you're not going to do anything else?
June's last call. Look, I'm only around the corner. I could be there in a couple of minutes.
Received.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry, Mr. Lynch. I'll call back later.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Sierra Oscar from 595.
Go ahead, Tony.
Mabs at Riley House. Do you want us to attend?
Hang on.
Skip?
No, Sergeant Peels will handle it. Give them the TDA we've got outstanding.
Right. That's negative, Tony. We've got a TDA for you, though.
Sierra Oscar from 643. Mabs is on the move.
Received.
He's off his head. He's seen me. I'm in pursuit.
Sierra Oscar from 96.
Go ahead, 96.
Yeah, I'm at Riley House. What's going on? OK, Gary.
You're not taking me in, man.
Can't have you going around glassing people.
He asked for it. They're taking the mick otherwise. You know what I'm saying? Look, it's business.
Yeah, sure.
You've got to show him who's boss, right?
Of course.
It's the thing, it's control. You know how it works.
Yeah, of course.
Look, you run out there, man, OK. But this is my place. I run Whitegate. It's mine, you got it?
Yeah, come on.
Don't touch me! I'm serious. You're not up to this, man. I'll have you. Now don't touch me.
I'm not impressed, son. I've seen all this before. You're just a big fish in a little pond. June, I've got one.
Is this what you want? They're killing you, slice punch!
Sarah Oscar from
Get the ambulance and repeat message to all units. I'll tell the duty officer.
All units, urgent assistance, officer injured, Riley House, Whitegate. 8-5 from Sierra Oscar.
Yeah, we heard June put it out. We're on our way.
Sir.
What is he, John?
Alec Peters, sir, has been stabbed. In Whitegate. Ambulance on way.
Look, you better get over there. I'll handle things this end.
God!
What's up, gang?
You all right, mate? Hey, hold on a minute.
We'll take a car from the pool. Sir. Alec's been hurt, Bob. Tell Marshall she's acting cat's eye.
Sir?
Oh, son. Take it easy.
What's the matter with him? Hold on, mate.
Hold on, mate. Oi!
Gary Mab should have been smothered at birth.
Sir.
All right, we'll play this by the numbers. Centre on the estate, moving out, searching by sections. Pass it to I'll get them to put the link in. He's not going to stay on our ground if he has to.
Already done, sir.
Good. Then get India 99 on the job. And make sure everybody's aware that if spotted, Mabs is to be treated with extreme caution.
Why, give us a break, eh? I just want to make sure you're all right. Oh, don't mess about in there, mate. It's not safe.
French Benjamin House, Young Ayres Street, and Hollis Newnham Court.
Who's left unassigned?
I've just given Stamp Lee Road.
Stringer?
Oh, his PR's on the blink. He's on his way back for a replacement, sir.
OK. Quinnan?
Waiting soccer.
One nil, one nil, one nil, one nil, one nil, one nil.
Any more of that and I'll have the lot of you.
Oh, yeah? What for?
Sierra Oscar from Inspector Monroe.
Go ahead.
Insulting behaviour.
You're taking a rank piss, mate.
Try me.
Come on, Steve. He ain't worth it.
CID are on the way.
Look, mate, you haven't done anything. I just want to make sure you're all right. You're losing blood. I know you're hurt. Oi!
Put your foot down, Sam.
Priority, priority, Oscar 201, Blumenau, St Hughes Hospital, ETA 5 minutes, code H.
All right, mate. Enough's enough, eh? I think we'd better get you seen to. You might need treatment. Now, take it easy. You're in shock, most likely. I'm really sorry, mate. I didn't see you. Here. Don't I know you?
Sierra Oscar 595.
Go ahead, Tony.
You better let Mr. Conway know, Kath. Found Stringer's car. Bottom of Carpenter's Close. There's no sign of Barry. The bonnet's got blood all over it.
Received.
Straight to resource.
So he's hit someone.
It's a nasty dent, sir.
Stamp.
Sir.
Tell Mr. Conway we'd better have the soccer over to have a look at this.
Sierra Oscar 595.
What's it doing here, John?
No idea, sir.
You can't do this. This is my house.
Shut your gob, Maureen. I've had a gutful of you and your brood.
Gov, bedroom's clear.
Well, search it again. Take it apart if you have to.
The ladder.
Now, you listen to me. Your boy has put one of our lot in hospital. So I'll start being a bit helpful. Know what I mean?
I hope he dies screaming.
Right. Sue,
Let's go.
stick her on.
What's the charge?
Being in possession of an offensive mouth.
You can't do that. I know my rights.
Where would he go?
I don't know how many more times.
Gov. Look.
Take her in.
Come on. Come on.
Oh, you came in with the injured policeman.
Sergeant Alec Peters, yeah.
Are you all right?
Yeah, I'm fine. How's he?
Do you know his next of kin?
Oh, it's Angela, his wife. She's on her way.
Don't worry. It's just procedure. Can I get you anything?
Oh, no, thank you.
What was Stringer's position when he last called in?
Not sure, sir. He asked me to run an index check.
Well, call it out, will you? Come on, come on.
Ford Escort. Delta 209, November Delta Papa, registered to G. Bradbury, 57 Taymars.
Well, get someone round to that address. Check if it's outside.
Sierra Oscar.
Jim, you know Mrs. Peters, of course.
Yes, of course. I was with Alec in the ambulance.
How's he doing?
Well, I think he's going to be all right. Oh, nurse, this is Mrs. Peters.
Oh, doctor will see you now.
Well, I must get back to the station. See she has everything she needs me. You know where I am if you need me.
Sarge? You all right? He'll be okay. Back in no time. Do you want to talk?
Feeling tired, that's all. Getting too old for this.
Oh, come on.
No, I'm serious. First Tom, now Alec. I don't know. Feels like it's all falling apart.
Bad day.
Well, there's been a few too many of those lately. That could just as easily have been me out there. I don't know. Maybe somebody's trying to mark my card. Put me wise. Anyway, what are you doing wandering around? Aren't you supposed to be acting CAD sergeant?
Yes, Sergeant.
You'd better get on with it, hadn't you?
Sierra Oscar, 171.
Go ahead, Reg.
Yeah, this escort, Delta 209, November Delta Papa. It is in Tamar Street, over.
Received. Stand by.
All right, mate. Give it up, eh? And you're not going anywhere. Now, come on. We can sort this out sensibly, eh?
What is this, man? Don't you know? You're always on my case. In here. In here. You keep pushing. You don't know when to stop, do you? It's you or me, man. You or me.
Look, I've radioed for backup. They'll be here in a minute. Now, you come across sensibly, without any aggro, and I'll make sure you're treated all right.
It's too late! Don't you understand? It's too late. I'm not going down. You're not putting me inside. No way. If I have to kill you. Now, out of the way, man. Just let me go. Just let me walk away.
I can't do that.
What have I? I've had one of your lot already. Another one don't matter. Because it's nothing. Nothing. I'll do you. I swear. I'll do you. Yeah!
Say Stringer's on his way back here.
Yeah, right.
And if, after passing Whitegate, instead of turning left from Spark Street, he takes a right, that puts you into Cox Lane and onto a straight line, more or less, to Carpenter's Close.
Why turn right?
Look, whatever took place, it happened between Tamar Street and Spark Street, right? Get Stamp to retrace the route, see what it turns up. It's that. It's that place. I don't believe in coincidence, but today it seems all roads lead to Whitegate.
Right. No one's going to hurt you. Come on. Listen. Do you want to tell me where you got this?
I didn't nick it. I found it by the gate at the power station.
Good lad. Don't join your mates.
We've checked about 2/3 of the ground so far, no sign of Stringer.
What about Mabs?
I'm afraid CID have drawn a blank there.
You don't think the two incidents are related?
The thought had crossed my mind, sir. But there is nothing to support it.
No. Well, it's just an idea. Yeah. Open the gates. Walking inside the building. It's massive. Yeah. Stay silent anyway. I heard some noises.
Get me out. Please help. Please. No. 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 Get me up. No. No. Please. Get me up. Please.
Barry! Here!
Barry? Hang on, mate.
Sierra Oscar from 595.
Go ahead.
Urgent message. Request ambulance to the old power station. I've found Stringer. Repeat, found Stringer. He's a bit cut and bruised. He's all right.
Received. Well done, Tony.
We're going to need a dog handler too.
Yeah, look, you'd better notify divisional surgeon. Socko the whole bit. Mabs is down here. He's not very good.
Can you be specific? In what way not very good?
In a sort of dead way.
Angela? He's stable. They're taking him to the theatre, but he's stable.
It's all right, mate. You're safe now. I got you.
Stew. Lost me Stew down there.
Yeah, don't worry about that now.
He pulled it off. As he went. It was new.
Get you another one, eh?
Yeah. Yeah, great.
You feeling, eh?
Not too clever.
Can you stand it? Get you up, mate. Get you off here, yeah?
Just a minute, mate. Give us a minute. I'll be all right in a minute, don't worry. I'm just a bit shaky. Hold on a minute, mate.
All alone, love.
No problem.
Not for me.
Excuse me, vodka and tonic, please. Cheers.
Listen, thanks for the spot, man. Guys, there's all the gigs we can get.
Listen, man. I only kept them on to avoid losing my punters. But I want you and all I get out of here as soon as it's over. Do you hear me?
How much is that, please?
Hey, man, what is the problem? Catch you later.
Excuse me. Do you know what time they're playing till?
Finish around midnight here.
Thanks.
That's your last dance, then.
Yeah, okay.
You see that around every fall. Looking for another dance partner?
Oh, not right now.
Like the music?
Yeah, music's great.
Funny how women always keep you waiting for the important things.
So, you like the band, then?
Yeah, good keyboard player.
Music not your main interest, then? Obviously.
Right now, I'm interested in finding the ladies. Catch you later. Sierra Oscar 8 from Martella. Go now, Gulf. I'm outside. Ah! Ah!
George, go!
You all right?
If you knew the gear was stolen and nothing else, why'd you jump on her?
I wasn't thinking.
Just reacting. Thought she might be after a bit of business.
You thought she was a tart? Look, you're already up for assault and handling stolen property. So don't make things worse for yourself. I mean, you don't look like a mug, Holman. But unless you tell me how your mate's got hold of that gear, well, you could all be in the frame for robbery, with violence, and a 5 stretch.
Yes. Gov, you got a minute?
Interview suspended for refreshment. Any joy?
Nothing. No tears either. I reckon mine have taken a vow of silence. What about Holman?
Well, he's owned up the thumping Martella, and he definitely knew the gear was stolen. But as for who sold it to them, well, he's not saying.
McEwen. Barry. Yes, I've got that.
Got a problem, Delia?
What's Burnside's extension?
391. Who's Barry McEwen?
Right, Viv.
Right, go. Where are we going?
I want to check out our mystery caller's info. This geezer fits the picture nicely.
What's his fault?
Low profile, since he did time a few years back for organising illegal fights. I've known him a long time. He runs this place. Name's McEwen. Pass around, pal.
There.
Cheers. Hello, Barry. Remember me? D.I. Burnside. And this is WPC Martella. Sunhill Police. We wondered if we could have a word.
Any words you like, Inspector?
Actually, I was thinking of 2 words.
No problem.
I was thinking of armed robbery.
Nasty business.
I've heard it's your nasty business, Barry.
Not me, Burnside. I'm legit, in case you didn't know.
5 highly organised robberies on sound equipment in the last 2 months. Flash getaway motors, weapons, the works. And all apparently committed by kids who couldn't fill in a YTS form. Estimated 32 grand's worth of gear, plus 1 body in the hospital. How much you pay these kids to do your dirty work, Barry?
Not my style.
You all over.
You're wasting your time, Burnside. And mine.
My info's tight as a Scotsman.
Get stuff, Inspector.
Now you listen to me, McEwen. I am offering you a damage limitation opportunity. Every move you make from now on sticks you deeper in it. So, what do you reckon?
I don't know, Gov.
Well, I reckon he's got the ideal setup. I mean, plenty of available talent, and we put his blood pressure up. He gave you a bit of a long look. What was that all about?
How should I know? Sorry, Gov, I'm just feeling a bit tired today.
Yeah, too many late nights, darling. Yeah. Look, you go back to the Nick and give Jim a hand. I'm going to look up an old pal of McEwen's.
I found you in the High Street.
In the High Street? Is that in a doorway or in a way?
Oh, Viv, DCI was asking where you were, and somebody's dropped these off for you.
I was expected.
If he's involved, he's probably got it stashed off at the manor.
Maybe.
Or at his mum's.
Does he still own that? That slum in Oakham Street?
As far as I know. Last I heard, he was renting it out to some old pro after his folks died. It's probably fallen down by now.
A note said to meet him at 11:30.
But you had no idea he was mixed up with these robberies?
I trusted him, June. He told me he'd straightened out. I know I'm panicking. But if this gets out...
If what gets out, Viv? Look, everyone has contacts. You couldn't do your job without them. I mean, all right, you use the club after work. You get friendly. He keeps you informed. You can't come up before the discipline committee for that. As long as you haven't compromised yourself professionally...
And what's that supposed to mean?
You know what I'm talking about. I mean, if you've been lovers, if you whispered little secrets over breakfast in bed. So what is going on, Viv?
Nothing, June. I haven't done anything Burnside or the others wouldn't do. We've got something going. I thought I knew who he was. I thought he was someone different. So now you're thinking if she's given him one, she's probably gone the rest of the way, right? Compromised herself.
No, of course I'm not.
Yeah, just like everybody else will if this gets out.
Look, I wouldn't tell anybody, you know that.
Look, thanks for listening, June. I've got to go.
Okay, fine.
I've tried McEwen's name out on her, Mum. You all look very twitchy, but nobody's biting.
OK, I want to see D.I. Burnside as soon as he reappears.
Yes, Mum?
We get some little Rachels. I get it all the time, mate.
Yeah, well, my safety was on the line as well, you know. Only I'm not female, so I don't get any comeback.
I'd recommend the operation, Garfield. You'll probably be less of a pain.
Jump in.
I'd rather walk.
Look, Viv, this is difficult for me.
Come on, Barry. Get to the point. Just tell me what you've got to say.
I'm not going down for this, Viv.
You shouldn't have got involved then.
Look, I'm no idiot.
You're a criminal, Barry.
And you are a hard bitch.
Look, I cared for you and I trusted you. I don't owe you anything.
That's the way you want it. There's another way to play. You'll protect me. Because if you don't, I'll do you. I've got stories to tell, Viv, starting with how you came up to me.
I've done nothing and you know it.
That depends where you draw the line, doesn't it, Viv? How bent the line is. Maybe you've been a very naughty little girl, and your bosses would like to know all about it. The stuff I can stir up on you, Viv.
You know you're an idiot, don't you? Stitching me up's not going to stop the investigation.
Well, that's your problem, not mine. Look, all you've got to do, have a go with your gaff and make the right... Oh. Call me when you got it sorted. We can have a celebration. We can be good together, Viv. Come on, we'll be good together. Just don't make the same mistake again. Because if I'm pulled, you're up to your neck in it.
Dozing off, Martella?
No.
I think I've cracked it.
Listen, Gov. I've got to talk to you about something.
Yeah? What?
McEwen. I do know. He was a contact at first. And a friend. I never...
Why didn't I know about him?
He hadn't come up. Look, Gov, don't give me a hard time. I think I'm in trouble. If you walked into a bar and spotted Tosh with his arm round some villain, would you lose your rag? You can think I'm a tart if you want, Gov, that's your business. But professionally, I deserve your support.
What trouble?
He's trying to blackmail me. He thinks I can get the investigation stopped.
Well, then he's an even bigger idiot. Look, he'll soon crack when we get him banged up.
I think he's serious, Gov.
All right, stop panicking, Viv. If all you've done is make a prat of yourself, you've got nothing to worry about. But you're going to have to tell your story to the DCI.
Great.
Oh, you know Mad Mike Gallagher. Captain Cosmic, the acid casualty from the 60s.
Yeah.
I interviewed him once when we were looking for that fence on a high school robbery.
He's got a shop on Lehman Street.
Yeah, but he lives in King's Cross. I just checked it out.
Oh, sounds like a long shot to me, Jim.
It's worth a try.
I suppose so. Afternoon, Viv.
No me digas tonterías, mi madre ya. Estás saliendo con la Josefina y no te atreves a decírmelo.
Adios.
Hello, CID, lines.
Hello, Tosh. It's me. Anything happening?
No change downstairs, though, Gov. Solicitor's in with them now. Yeah. Yeah, and Jim's out. He's following up a lead on a possible fence. But it's not exactly 22 carat.
I've just had a look at McEwen's folks' old place. You know, round the back of the gasworks. He's definitely got something stashed in there. But we'll have to get in to make sure. So try and arrange a warrant, will you? ASAP. Oh, and we're going to need an observation. I'm on my way back now.
Message received. Hey, Gov. Do you know what's up with Viv?
Come in. Ah, Viv. I was beginning to wonder whether you'd all taken the day off. Have you got D.I. Burnside in tow?
No, Mum.
Nothing turning up on the club robberies?
No, Mum. Mr. Burnside said I should come and see you.
Yes?
I've already told him the whole story.
What story, Viv?
What can I do for you? Did you get a bit too old for that, Mikey?
Why didn't you tell Burnside you knew him straight away?
It was a shock. His name pops up and I'm standing outside his gym. I just panicked, that's all. He was important to me, Mum. OK, I made a mistake. But I never did anything out of order. We were close. He was prepared to talk. Once or twice I stayed in the club for a nightcap. And once I warned him off about some dodgy scotch he was offered. No more than that.
DCI Reed here. Would you hold my calls until I let you know? Thank you.
All right, I'll make a phone call,
Frank, I'll need you in here now. I've got Martella here.
Silly cow.
Well, I need your side to these revelations later, Frank, but right now I just want to get a grasp of the situation.
Yeah, well, that could be a bit tricky. I've just been to McEwen's old gaff. My guess is he's got enough gear stashed in there to permanently deafen the whole of Watford. Tosh is organising a warrant.
You got someone down there?
Yeah, but we'll have to move quick before McEwen does.
OK, you better come in. Right, I've heard your story, Viv. Now you can answer some questions.
I really don't think there's any more to say, Mum.
Don't you?
I've told Mr. Burnside. Look, I've been through all this.
This isn't some bad film you fell asleep in front of, Martella. It's happening. It looks like we're on to McEwen. Frank's ready to bring him in now. If McEwen does what he's threatening to do, and I get an IO down here from the area complaints unit, then you're going to have to answer some questions, whether you like it or not.
And your sordid little leg over's going to take some explaining.
Look, Gov, last night you had me dressed up like a Christmas turkey, in and out all the clubs, chatting up anyone in sight. Then I was being a good copper.
How many times did you see him in all?
I've been going to the gym for about a year.
And when did you start sleeping with him?
Look, what do you want? What I did with McEwen makes me an idiot, maybe. But it doesn't make me a slag.
Are you really that naive, Martella? I had you down for more intelligence than that. I'll take over from here, Frank. Do you really think you can make your own rules, Martella?
I'm saying
Listen to me, because if you want to stay in this job, you've got to understand the score. There are 2 rules of engagement, and you've just blown them both. 1, you make sure you play informants and villains by our rules, not theirs. And 2, you realise that as a woman, if you can't keep your hands off the criminals, you haven't got a future in the job worth having.
Did he handle the gear then?
No! He knows a man who did.
Did he name McEwen?
As good as. He said to make a full statement as long as we make sure he don't end up in the same nick as him.
It's a hard life, and it ain't crime.
Terrible.
Yeah.
Tosh?
Yep.
What's wrong with Viv, anyway?
Look, Jim, I know your mother told you the facts of life. Ted told me.
Tosh?
She picked on the wrong playmate, that's all.
Good news already?
Your luck's out, Barry. You're about to be nicked.
Oh, and you come to warn me? Cute.
I came to find out what you're going to do. I've got a right to know.
That's still up to you, Viv.
Barry, I tried to tell you.
How are they going to prove anything?
They know where you've got the gear hidden. And amongst other things, it's too late.
Have a good laugh, did you? Hey? Did you? While you were setting me up?
I didn't know anything. Remember? You set yourself up for this, Barry. Don't make me your scapegoat now.
Maybe I wouldn't. If I thought you'd stick with me.
What?
Your sort only play with people like me. Once a slag, always a slag.
Don't lay that one on me, Barry.
You really got to me, Viv. Maybe I'll just take my pound of flesh anyway.
I doubt very much he's going to bother making any trouble for you now. So it looks like you're out of the frying pan. You're going to get a lot of stick from the canteen clientele, though. They're more moralistic than a bunch of outraged fathers if they think you've been mixing with the wrong sort. I know what you're thinking, Viv. All the way from hero to villain in one day.
It's going to take longer than a day for this to blow over.
Not a lot of justice in it, is there? Still, that's the price you pay. Look, Viv, maybe you've been lucky up till now. Nobody, no policewoman ever gets away completely without facing this kind of hypocrisy and prejudice. We're competing with them in their arena and we're a threat. So we're humiliated every working day. To the men, we're still objects first, colleagues second. Coming out on top after all that is a slow, painful process. So all we've got to do is learn the rules well, stay canny, put in twice as much as anybody else, and celebrate the occasional small victory in private.
Quiet as a lamb. The DCI had a word while you were upstairs, Gov. Must have been so what she said.
promise.
My word's a gentleman.
We'll be back round in about 10 minutes. So...
Well, I lie to you. Don't know why you're bothered.
577 from Sierra Oscar.
Go ahead.
We've got a burglary. 27 Snoffany Road, just round the corner from you.
All right.
You want to see a Miss Lisa Unsworth? She was the one that got turned over.
Okay, thanks, George.
Why do they always ask for the bloke?
That's a terrific filing system you got there, Tosh. Yeah, well, if I'd have wanted to spend my life sitting behind a desk, I'd have gone to work for the Inland Revenue.
We all work for them, pal.
Sure, you're telling me.
I'll get it.
Come on, Jim, look lively.
That's his early start, Scuff.
Hello,
It's
yeah.
not on.
What you need is a nice big breakfast. Eggs, bacon, black pudding.
Please. Please.
Just be grateful you're not out with a Scotsman. He's dawn raiding again.
No back exit.
Come on, come on.
What the hell do you want?
Morning, Jeff.
Search warrant?
Uh-huh.
You never give up.
We've reason to believe you've been handling stolen motorcycles. May we?
Be my guest. Why are they always such a maze, these places?
This is it. Hello? It's the police. Hello? It's over now. It's okay. You're all right, madam. It's Sunhill Police.
Ready. Fire.
He had Jamie. Fought.
36582 GQR.
Yep.
Purchase invoice, please. Next.
It's Kawasaki.
Kawasaki Z1000 Mark II, love.
Just find us the paperwork, please, sir.
You're wasting your time, you know. They're all 100% kosher.
That's not what my information says.
Snout!
Something interesting through here, Skip. Hmm? Come on.
Got a Suzuki here. Check the plates, and they seem to come from a Honda. Reported stolen.
Really? Do you know anything about this?
News to me.
Does this bike belong to you? Geoffrey Barker, I'm arresting you on suspicion of handling stolen goods. You're not obliged to say anything unless you wish to do so, but anything you say may be put in writing and used in evidence. We'd better take it in. We'll get Socko onto the frame number, see what a few photos can turn up.
You're fitting me up.
We haven't charged you with anything yet.
Jim?
Watch it.
Push it from there. Push it from there.
I didn't know you got your HGV licence, buddy.
Right, Tosh.
Hello, mate.
Just making sure the kid's all right. Cat's in there with the mob. Gently, gently, eh?
Yeah, we know what to expect. Hello.
Lisa, this is DC Lyons and DC Carver from CID. Lisa Unsworth.
Hiya. Hello.
Do you want a coffee?
No, don't you bother about us, love.
Lisa, I think it'd help if you told them what you told me. I'm not sure I want to.
That's all right. There's plenty of time. No rush.
Oh, it isn't easy. I was so scared.
I know, love. But with your help, we can catch him. Before he does to somebody else.
Do you want to go straight to an interview room?
How long did his brief reckon?
10 minutes, he said.
He's already had 15. We'll give it another 5, then we might as well do something useful. Interview room.
What about me? I've got a shop to open, you know.
Well, get on and tell us about the dodgy plates, then.
There's nothing to tell.
If you've been ringing bikes, forensic can find it. You know that.
If you had the evidence, you wouldn't be half so keen on a statement. You ain't got enough, and you know it. And I know it.
Let's just wait for your brief, then, shall we? A cell, please, John.
So, you weren't expecting any kind of delivery?
No.
You sure?
You want to make out this is my fault, don't you?
No, not at all. No.
I was the one who was attacked, you know.
Yes, I know, look. Look, all I've got to find out is whether this is an opportunist or whether it's somebody deliberately conning his way into people's houses. Now, that's all. Okay? Okay. Right. So, now, he says he's got a parcel for you, yeah?
Yeah. Had my address on it and all. Said he'd bring it in, said it was too heavy for me.
And you let him in?
Of course I did.
Anybody would. Then what happened?
Well, he put the parcel down just over there. I said, thanks. He turned back to the door, but instead of going out, he shut the door and turned back to me.
Where was Jeremy at this point?
Playing on the floor just over there.
Go on.
Well, then he said, ever so calm, real nasty. He wanted cash, jewellery, anything like that. Otherwise, Jamie would get it.
Was he armed?
A knife. Flick knife.
If you saw him again, would you know him?
I'd know him. But you better not let me see him again.
Oh, yes, I did see him. I thought, oh, someone's in for a nice birthday surprise. Oh, I never thought that.
Well, who would?
Mind you, I'd never let anyone in here without seeing their credentials. Good.
So you saw the man, did you? You didn't see the van by any chance, did you?
Well, that's what I'm telling you, young man. That's what I saw.
Could you give us a description?
Of the man?
Of the van?
Oh, yes. Well, it was big, blue, a red stripe down the side. No, green. No, red.
I'm telling you, a bloke brought the bike in, asked me to repair it.
But you didn't get his name?
I can't remember.
What was wrong with the bike?
No, clutch was there. I have nothing to say.
Governor wants a load.
You two carry on.
All right.
Yeah, fine.
DS Gregg leaves the room. Interview continues in the presence of DC Dashwood and WDC Martella.
I must protest, Mr. Dashwood. There really does seem to be insufficient evidence to justify keeping my client here any longer. He's a respected local shopkeeper.
You really think we got a search warrant without evidence?
The evidence required for a warrant is vastly different from that required in a criminal trial.
Not if that evidence happens to be a bike purchased last week from Mr. Barker, which has been traced as stolen and rung.
I trust you can produce this evidence for me, Mr. Dashwood.
Of course. So, is Mr. Barker interested in making a statement?
I'd like 5 minutes alone with my client, please.
My pleasure.
Nobody tells me anything. I didn't know he'd traced one of his ringers. I hope you know what you're doing.
Oh, what does it matter once we get the full statement? We can make the connections ourselves then. It's just a bit of gamesmanship, Viv.
But every single time, you can't leave it to chance.
Right. You got a moment, sir?
Well, my door is always open to the gentlemen of the CID.
Thank you. You remember the delivery man investigation about 8 months ago?
No result, as I recall.
Yeah, well, he's back. He did a flat in Camford Estate this morning.
Much damage?
Couple £100. Gold necklace.
Hardly worth all his effort.
Nasty shock for the woman, though, sir.
And?
Look, we know his MO. He'll be doing these estates today and maybe a bit tomorrow. We've got to go full out for it, sir. All I'm asking for is for a couple of extra officers to patrol the Atherley and Petro estates.
Good idea.
Yeah, it won't be forever. Just till tomorrow night. Less if we get a result.
I should warn you that yours is the third request for attention I've had this week. So? As soon as I've looked at the other two.
No, sir. It's got to be today. He'll be gone tomorrow.
Just as soon as I can.
Right, thank you, sir.
By the way, any progress on those prisoners' property vouchers? I sent you a reminder last week.
They're next on my list.
Only the Chief Inspector's on my back about the store again. He's got a truckload he wants to send up to Chalk Farm.
Just as soon as I can. Thank you, sir.
Interview recommenced. Same persons present.
My client is interested in making a statement.
Good. We're glad he's seen sense.
But I needn't remind you, need I, that any statement made as a result of
Non-existent evidence would be inadmissible in court.
No, you needn't.
So perhaps I should just see some written proof before we go any further, Mr. Dashwood. Photocopies will do.
You did what? Heat of the moment. Don't know what came over me.
We were getting there. We had him on the run. But you just couldn't wait, eh? Had to do it yourself.
Look, there's no harm done, is there?
We're going to have to go down there and tell that brief we haven't got one word of this spectacular evidence against his client.
I'll do it.
Dead right you'll do it.
What was Barker going to think then, eh? He's going to be cock-a-hoop. He isn't going to give us a statement. You've set us back hours. We'll end up having to release him.
He'll talk.
Where is he now?
Back in his cell.
Get on to Socko, see how soon they can rush us through those photos on that bike.
Right.
Just pray his brief doesn't get nasty.
I really can't see any grounds for not letting my client go.
We wish to interview Mr. Barker further.
And get on and interview him.
In due course.
Well, what are the reasons for delaying the interview?
We're awaiting other statements. Fingerprints.
Well, that could take forever. I think I'm going to have to see the duty officer.
There's no need for that.
Are you saying you're prepared to release my client?
Tosh, this is crazy. Two of us can't cover that amount of ground. We need at least...
We're still going to nail him.
We aren't on the same side as uniform, do they know?
Look, Jim, it's down to us, right? Now, listen, from his old methods, it means it's either the Petro estate or the flats off Lessing Road.
You reckon?
I know he will. I know him. OK? Now, you cut from the Petro to the High Street, I'll do the High Street to Lessing Road. All right?
Your helicopter or mine?
Very funny.
Oi, how goes it with friend Barker?
Don't ask.
All right, I won't. I've just had CPS on the phone. They want you in court this afternoon.
It's check fraud, right?
That's the one.
I'm not called till tomorrow.
3 witnesses gone down, apparently.
Oh, terrific. That's 6 months' work, that investigation. If CPS blow it out now...
Don't worry. It's watertight.
They want Tosh as well.
Yeah. But listen, when you tell him, go easy. He's got something else planned for this afternoon.
We'll need to ask you a few more questions in a couple of weeks.
Oh, any time. Glad to be of assistance.
Come on.
Of course. A bit more warning would be quite nice next time. I'm sure Mr. Gregg knows that.
Hurts, doesn't it?
When we get the forensic, we'll have him.
But I'm right in the middle of this. It's this afternoon or never.
We've worked too long on this case to jeopardise it now, Tosh.
I was only arresting officer.
Makes no difference.
I thought you was busy with those wrong bikes.
As it happens, my afternoon is now free.
So there's no way you're going to try and talk the CPS round?
We've got a meeting with the brief at 12:30. You reread your statement yet?
I haven't even found it.
I've got copies of everything if you want.
I don't believe it. He's going to get away again.
It's right, Tosh. I'll cover it.
All I want to do is catch a villain. And will they let me?
Take it easy, Tosh.
Oh, these barristers, they think they know everything.
Hello.
Mrs. Dickens, DC Lights.
Pleased to meet you.
Sorry to be late. The judge wanted a word.
That's okay.
I hope we haven't interrupted your day too much.
Not at all. How's it going?
Oh, counsel for number 1 villain's being a bit difficult.
Nasty?
He's decided to cross-examine our handwriting expert and hasn't finished yet.
Don't tell me we've got a delay.
But his evidence will hold up, won't it?
Oh, yes, it's watertight. No, he's just tried to blind the jury with science. I'd do the same.
Just when will the expert finish?
He's probably got another hour.
So are you going to get to us?
Well, after him comes the bank manager, so we might get to you by 3:30.
It's just that I've got a very pressing investigation on at the moment. I've got to do it today.
Oh, well, I suppose we might be able to make a good guess by, say, 3 o'clock or 1:15.
Only I've got to be there.
It would be very inconvenient if we happen to need you, Tosh.
It's all right. I've got my radio. Just ring through to the station. I can be here within half an hour.
We can't jeopardise the case.
I can be here in half an hour.
Well, I suppose if your other case is very urgent, I certainly don't want to have kept you here unnecessarily.
Alistair's got my number.
This is crazy. The chances of us spotting
Worth a try. Come on, we don't want other women ending up like Lisa, do we?
Of course not.
Well then.
As soon as he sees us, he's going to run a mile.
Then we'll have done that much at least.
It just means... Oh, blimey.
I've just seen him. What? I've just seen the van I saw this morning.
Are you sure?
Oh, of course I'm sure, young man. Really. He's down there. Down there. Well, quick, he'll get away.
Leave it to us, eh?
Hey, you Oscar!
Sierra 487. Reported sighting of delivery man's van on... What's the name of the street?
Gatley Street.
Gatley Street. We'll check it out, George.
Thanks, Kathy. We'll let CID know.
She did say green, didn't she?
Or red or blue. Sierra Oscar from 487. Come on, George.
Yeah, sorry, Cass. There was a queue for the computer. The van is registered to a Michael Sheridan, an address in South End. Do you want it? Over.
Right now, thanks.
Have you checked the number?
It's privately owned.
And it's definitely the one she saw earlier?
Yeah.
Here he goes. Right. Let's have a word.
Sierra Oscar from 487. We're going to investigate the van and the driver. We'll keep you informed.
We're supposed to get on our bikes and make work. We don't need you lot knocking us off them.
I'm sorry, sir. Your van just happened to fit a description, that's all.
It's diabolical stopping people, accusing them when they haven't done nothing.
No, sure. But I'm sorry, mate. It was my mistake.
I've got enough work on my hands as it is.
What are you doing here? I'm out on licence. Just a motive.
A green van with a stripe down it. What am I supposed to do with that?
Right, we'll split the area up as we planned then.
Well, not until I've had lunch.
All right.
You're on.
Already?
No one wanted to cross-examine. You'd better call your mate.
I'm fast.
Detective Sergeant Gregg,
Yeah.
can you please come in?
Yeah, right.
I know you're here.
Would you tell us your full name, please?
Alistair Gregg, Detective Sergeant attached to Sunhill Police Station.
And tell me, Sergeant Gregg, when did you first become aware that stolen cheques were being passed in Sunhill?
Please let it be.
DC lines from Sierra Oscar.
DC lines receiving. Go ahead.
Got an urgent message from the court, Tosh. They need you back ASAP.
Oh, no. Listen. I've got a suspect on a surveillance. It's the delivery man. I may need assistance immediately.
That'll be at least 15. Everyone's gone to a disturbance down the Market Tav.
Right, well, listen, get me DC Carver here, now, as soon as possible, right? It's number 10 Regis Street. And listen, you've not spoken to me, right? I knew you'd be back.
Sierra Oscar from DC Carver.
Tell him it better be the real thing this time.
If you love just so
Scannell CID. We've been after this one for a long time. Sorry about the delay. Why don't you sit down? I'm arresting you for attempted burglary. You don't have to say anything. But anything you do say may be given in evidence. Now you stay there! Sierra Oscar from DC Lines, come in. Right, listen. I've made an arrest. Now where the hell's Carver? Well, you tell him to order up, eh? For God's sake. Do you have a spare safety pin, love?
And that was in March.
No, February. I really didn't want to call this woman so early, you know.
I've called the station. There's no trouble. He'll be here in 10 minutes max.
It simply has to be Lyons
So
next.
you were back
Look,
at
he's
work in the bank for the
100%
last week in
reliable.
March.
He'll be here.
I can see this whole case going up in smoke. The jury will be so
He'll
confused.
be here.
Every time we lose, the net
What
blames
date
us.
did you return to work?
This is just the sort of thing.
Well, you took your time.
Fast as I could.
Yeah, well, come on, get up. Up you get. Come on. Right, it's all yours.
Aren't you bringing him in?
No, I'm late for court. But, look, you book him in and I'll go and see the Sarge later.
And just don't forget, Monroe's having a crackdown after Mike's little blunder.
Well, that's all we need, isn't it, eh? Come on.
If I understand you correctly, Mrs. Dickens, you do not wish to call any witness other than this Mr. Lyons. And yet you tell me that you cannot find this Mr. Lyons.
Detective Constable Lyons was urgently called away on police business, but is even now on his way back here.
And when can we optimistically expect Mr. Lyons?
Detective Sergeant Gregg, a colleague of DC Lyons, has phoned the state...
About time.
Bible, please.
Take the testament in your right hand.
I swear by Almighty God that the evidence I shall give shall be the truth, the whole truth... What do you reckon? Am I going to get to work in it?
No.
Oh.
Looks like your gearbox has had it.
Oh, terrific. Well, can't you do something? Anything? Look, I've got some cash. Have you got a phone I can use? Hang on!
Doc identification is not enough, Viv, and you know it. Now set up an ID parade.
The plaintiff won't wear it. He's scared.
Well, what about the suspect?
He wants one.
Well, then give him one. Otherwise, you're going to be in breach of Code D. Where's Tush?
His car's broken down.
What, again?
Again.
Well, what's he doing?
He's catching the bus.
Look, when he comes in, will you tell him to get rid of that rust bucket of his? We got an image to maintain.
What image?
He's also got 5 kids to maintain.
Not your problem, all mine. That ID parade, set it up.
Number 15 going from here, mate.
Yeah. You just missed one.
Oh, no.
Where you going?
Sunhill.
Oh, take a 95. Change it all again.
On top.
Right.
Excuse me. Don't push. Don't push now. That's it, thank you. Yep. Just 5 downstairs, please. All right, mate. Straight through.
Oh, nice car.
Which one? The one at the front, the one in the middle, or the one at the back?
What?
Well, you're not looking at one motor, you're looking at 3.
So far, we've managed to get hold of 2 complete cars. Both run. The vehicle examiner's taking a look at one of them now.
What about that workshop?
Stacked out, on top of the shop stuff. Jag gearboxes, Range Rover panels, the lot. I reckon they're acting as suppliers for other ringers.
So what do you want to do about it?
I'll bust the house next to the garage.
When?
Oh, now, if I can have Viv and Tosh.
No, you can have Viv. You can't have Tosh.
Why not?
Because he's not here yet, is he?
Lines up. Got a card, please. Put them off. Thank you. Thank you.
Eddie? Edward Armstrong? Excuse me? It's Edward Armstrong, isn't it?
No, I'm afraid not.
I'm sorry. I could have sworn it was.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
I'm sorry. Do you know what I've just seen? Nope. I've just seen a ghost. Edward Armstrong, what age? Oh, I'd say mid-40s now.
What's his trade?
Fraudsman. But you won't find him in our crime book. Not yet, anyway. And he only ever committed one crime. As far as we know. A good one, though. 5 years ago.
Where?
In Upminster.
So what did he go down for?
He didn't. So if I give you details of how he operates...
Are you telling me he was found not guilty?
No. The Essex force may be able
Tosh,
to...
what are you telling me?
I'm telling you that I was the arresting officer in Upminster 5 years ago. I was stationed there before I came here.
Ah. You mean you lost your case?
No. I lost my suspect. He committed suicide while out on bail.
So what do you expect me to do? Organise a séance?
You've just seen a man on a bus who's been dead 5 years.
Yes.
We've got a heavy workload, Tosh. If you want sick leave, go about it the right way.
I don't want sick leave.
Oh, I thought you might be looking for an excuse to go and sort out your domestic life.
My what?
Well, you've been going on about it for days.
No, I haven't.
Oh, yes, you have. Your wife, your kids, your debts, your clapped-out motor.
Oh, that was a joke.
Oh, no. Just because you wrap a smile around your face every time you have a moan about it does not mean it's a joke. Am I right, Alistair? You know the golden rule. You got troubles at home, don't bring them to work. We got enough problems of our own. Dead men on buses. You'd have to do better than that, Tosh.
Well, I'm going to follow it up.
Oh, no, you're not.
Guff, it's a full inventory of those stolen motor parts. It reads like a who's who of quality spares. Cheers.
What's up with him today?
It's Monday morning.
Oh, yeah?
So this man, this Edward Armstrong, how'd he kill himself?
Left his clothes on the beach, walked out into the sea one cold winter morning.
Was a body found?
I know. Oldest trick in the book.
Could you be mistaken?
No, I'm sure it was him. Meant a lot to me, that case. What there was of it.
So what can you do?
Reopen it?
Boss just said no.
Did he?
And he's right. It's not our territory. Anyhow, it's difficult to make a good job of faking suicide. You must know that.
Yes, I know that.
So, alive or dead, it belongs to Essex.
Not anymore. I've checked. 2 years ago, Mrs. Armstrong moved into Borough Court Park. And unless someone's changed their boundaries, that's in Sunhill's territory. OK? I'll see you later.
Yes. Much. Thanks awfully. Bye-bye.
Do I pay for this here?
You can, yes. 65 pence, please.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I don't know whether or not you remember me.
No.
We last met 5 years ago, Mrs. Armstrong. In Upminster. Detective Constable Lyons.
Hey there. Look after the counter for a moment, will you?
Thank you.
I'm not called Armstrong anymore. I use my maiden name, Taylor, because there's a lot of things I want to forget.
You're on the post office, dear?
Yes. So the last thing I want is the police coming here, especially you. I don't want to be reminded about the past. If the post office authorities knew about the criminal charges against my ex-husband, I'd be out of a job. And a good job. Tea, coffee?
No, thanks. Not necessarily. You weren't to blame.
In this area? I don't take chances in this area. You see, I made a new start. That's why I came here. I'm Mrs. Joan Taylor, widow. That's all anyone knows about me. That's all they need to know.
Yes, I understand that.
So, why are you here?
You're just passing by.
Passing by from Essex.
I also moved into the area to make a new start.
What do I care about your life? It's my career I'm interested in. So, what is it? What do you want?
I just want to ask you a few questions.
About what? About security? Here we are. Take a look.
No, about Eddie.
What? After 5 years? What can I possibly tell you after 5 years? I didn't know that much then. You tried to con me the same as you tried to con everyone else. He's dead, Mr. Lyons. He drowned himself, remember? Took the easy way out, didn't he? Left me with the debts, the shame. Days and nights of worrying about him. Left me with a lot. And at the same time, he left me nothing.
Yes, I know, I'm sorry.
But I just happened to have rebuilt my life. I got this job. I've got a bit of money put by and I'm happy. I'm happier now than I've ever been. I'm also getting married again. To a good man this time.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
I've seen him, Mrs. Taylor.
What'd you say?
I said I've seen him. I've seen Eddie this morning. On a number 95 bus.
Fitzwarren Lane, Sunnell's answer to Wall Street.
Oh, is it?
Well, I know it doesn't compare, but wish I had a fraction of the money that changes hands here.
I'm looking for a man who got off a bus here this morning.
Well, most people get off buses here in the morning. They go to work, then they get on a bus and go home again.
Yeah, well, that's what he looks like.
Well, you know what they say about men in grey suits. They all look alike to me. Yeah.
How much? Are you sure? I'll get back to you.
No, hang on, thanks.
Do you know how much that garage wants for a new gearbox?
An arm and a leg?
No, more than that. God, it's marvellous, isn't it? Just what I need right now, just what I need. Well, if I've got a cough out for that lot, that's this year's holidays up the spout.
Can't they patch it on?
Nah, they don't do patching up these days. Not interested in it, are they? All they want is your money. Or they come the comedian bit, they crack that joke about, you know, keep the oil and change the car.
Hello?
It's right though, isn't it, eh? Huh? I mean, some guys, they get all the luck, even if they don't want it. And there's mugs like me, you get one bad break and that's it forever. Nothing ever changes. Do you know, I've never, ever won anything in the whole of my life. Fruit machines, raffles, games with the kids. I've not even won a booby prize. Have you?
Where'd you get this from?
Armstrong's wife.
He looks full of confidence in this photo, doesn't he?
Yeah, he always was full of confidence.
Is that why you didn't like him?
What do you mean I didn't like him? I never said that. And what's that got to do with anything? He was breaking the law and I was just doing my job. That's all there is to it.
You said he may have only committed the one offence.
He was breaking the law.
Oh, yeah. I've been reading up about him. Quite a lad when it came to the money, wasn't he? You see, people like that, they're born with the touch. Now, you give them a £10 note and they'll turn it into £1,000. Other people, well, other people, they just turn it into a debt.
You mean people like me?
No, I didn't say that, Tosh, did I?
Right, what you got for me, then?
Nothing. Nothing at all. His MO seems to have died with him, and there's nothing that relates to it anywhere across the board. Monday, the 13th of January, 5 years ago. It all ends there.
Great.
I hear you want to buy a motor, Tosh.
I don't want to buy a motor, I want to mend one.
Well, if I can be of any help.
You? Cheers, mate. Cheers.
And what time do you call this?
I hear you busted those ringers, Ed.
Turn the whole place over.
Yeah. Hey, hang on. In your travels, you haven't come across a gearbox, have you? Manual?
A what?
Yeah, for a 10-year-old Volvo estate.
Sorry, Tosh. Wrong end of the market.
Fair enough, fair enough. Hiya.
What's that?
Copies of the missing persons report and the questionnaire Mrs. Armstrong filled in. They faxed them through for me.
Put them on your desk.
Eh?
Come on. I want to have a talk.
So how are things with you and Maureen these days?
Terrible. You know, sometimes I think I should leave my clothes on the beach. Just walk out to sea, away from it all.
Yeah, knowing your luck, Josh, you'd float back in again with the tide.
Yeah.
There you go. Look at that. Few years old. Nothing spectacular to look at, but a good runner.
Where can I get 4.5 grand from?
Well, they'll let you have it on a strap.
Oh, no, thanks. I've got enough debts as it is.
Come on, let's go and have a drink.
All right. So after a few months, he'd worked out a nice little scheme whereby he added 10 pence to the bank charges on every account below £5,000, and he added £1 on every account above it. There you go.
Great.
And the difference? He credited it to a false account. He opened one for himself under a false name.
He must have made a small fortune.
He did. But we nicked him before he had a chance to transfer most of it. One of the bank employees was suspicious over the name on the false account. He'd spelt it wrongly. It's amazing, isn't it? I mean, this Armstrong bloke is a genius with figures. But when it comes to spelling, when it really matters, he can't do it. That's how we got him. Cheers. Cheers. Then he goes and drowns himself before we get into court. Well, at least that's what I was told for the last 5 years. Until this morning.
So, you've got no doubts that you weren't imagining this?
No.
Did you speak to him on the bus?
Yeah, I said his name.
Shouldn't have done that.
I know that. I realise that now, but it was the shock of seeing him, that's all.
So how did he react when you said his name?
He didn't react at all. It was like he didn't know me. Look, Gov, I know it's him. I think he's working on Fitzwarren Lane where the money is. I've seen his missus, or his ex-missus, whatever you want to call her. She runs a post office in Borough Park Court. Again, where the money is. If he's alive, he'd have to go for it again. He couldn't leave it alone.
What about his wife? Does she think he's alive?
No. She's all set to get married again. Gov, please, please, Gov, just one more day, please, maybe 2.
Half a day.
That's not long enough. Because I'm going to be late again tomorrow for the 2nd time running. I'll have a cheese salad roll, please, love.
Soft or crusty?
Soft, please. Do you know how long I've been wandering around this godforsaken place? 3 hours, ever since I got off the bus. It's got no soul, this place. I've been in every bank, every building society. If it's got anything to do with money, you name it, I've been in it.
Doing what?
Just looking, hanging around.
I'm surprised no one's called the police.
So am I. It's funny, though, really, because if my car hadn't conked her, I wouldn't be doing this at all. Wandering the streets looking for someone who's not there. I'd have been doing other things. Proper things. Perhaps it was a bad day to begin with.
When?
Yesterday, when I got on that bus.
Tosh, are you saying you could have been seeing things?
I don't know. Maybe I've been in the game too long. Seen too many people, too many faces. Things sort of become a blur in the end, don't they?
Do they?
Of course they do.
Yes, madam.
I'd like to see Detective Constable Lines, please.
181 from Sierra Oscar.
181 receiving.
Report of a disturbance, 181. Paul and James Building Society office.
On our way. Do you know where it is?
Is that Mrs. Taylor?
Yep.
Mrs. Taylor?
Yes.
I'm Detective Sergeant Gregg. DC Lines isn't here at the moment. Can I help?
It's not really a disturbance, more of a nuisance. We just can't get him to leave.
Oh, don't worry, he won't cause any trouble. All right, Arnold. You at it again, are you? Come on. Whoa. Let's get you out in the fresh air. Come on. Let these people get on with their work. Right, Sharon? Right, folks, sorry about the disturbance. Party's over. Sierra Oscar from 181 receiving.
He came to see me last night. Just turned up, out of the blue.
Who did?
I got such a shock. It's not fair. He shouldn't have done it. It's just not fair.
Mrs. Taylor?
You see, I've rearranged my whole life. I'm getting married again to someone I love. And I've been taking advice. I thought I'd have to wait for 7 years, but no. On presumption of death, I'm entitled to get married at any time.
Look, just hold on a minute, Mrs. Taylor. Whose death are we talking about?
My husband's. He drowned himself 5 years ago.
Right. So who came to see you last night?
He did. He tried to plead with me. He said he had to do what he did all those years ago because he was in such trouble. And he said he hadn't been in trouble since. He was working hard to save money so we could get back together again. He said he was doing it all for me.
And did you believe him?
Yeah. I did believe him this time for once. But it's too late. I told him that after 5 years without a word. It is just too late. I don't want him anymore. I found someone else. That's only fair, isn't it? Only natural. Isn't it?
I'm sorry, but I'm afraid Mr. Fowler has left the office.
Mr. Fowler?
Yes, it's our chief accountant you're asking about, isn't it?
Well, look, he came through that door earlier.
Yes?
Yes, that's Mr. Fowler. He's only just gone.
Gone where? To lunch? What?
I think you better have a word with the manager.
He said nothing to me, or to any other member of the staff.
So what don't you understand?
Well, Mr. Fowler seems to have left us. In a hurry. He's cleared his desk, taken all his personal items, and just gone. Why would he do a thing like that?
So how long was he working here?
Oh, something just over 2 years. It's been invaluable. I don't know what the company would have done without him.
Sunhill?
Yes. He's been living in the area as well for the past 2 years.
Where?
We don't know. He gave his employers an address, but it was false.
You're telling me that Eddie's been living in Sunhill for 2 years? Probably watching me for 2 whole years?
Yes.
That's terrible.
Mrs. Taylor, when he told you that he wanted to come...
It is terrible. How could he do that to me? How could he hurt me again after all this time?
We need to find him.
Then what?
Then he stands trial again.
What about me?
Tosh. Yeah? Don't tell me. I know. I'm late again.
Uniform had just had a call. I think you might be interested in this one.
What are you on about?
He had ID.
What's his name?
Eric Fowler. That him?
Yes.
Well, he hasn't faked it this time.
No. No. He hasn't faked it this time.